So Solomon, I really like the team that we work with, and I think we're a solid group of people. I'm just wondering, what do you look for when you hire somebody?
There's a lot of things that our team looks for, and I'll tell you what I look for specifically. If you put me in front of a candidate, I would look for what I call my 3 C's. The first thing that I would try to understand is competency. If this person is customer service, that's one level of competency versus someone who's doing Google ads, Facebook ads, whatever, SEO, you name it, digital marketing as a whole. If they're going to do that job, I need to know, are they competent? That's
right.
The first thing I look for. Of course, we're willing to train and coach and mentor and everything to get them there if they're not there. But if they're looking for more mid-level to senior, we need them to know what to do from day one, right? Even if they're not going to be touching anything, we cannot wait for them to learn. So competency, number 1, get it out of the table. If they're not competent, I probably wouldn't want to go any further into my other C's. My second C is, are they committed? All right? Are they committed? Do you know the difference between bacon and eggs in your breakfast? Do you know the difference? Which one of those things is more committed? The bacon or the egg?
You tell me.
Well, how do you get bacon?
You just cook it.
Negative. The bacon or our pig is more committed than the chicken who just gave an egg, because that pig had to die.
Wow.
To get that bacon. Whereas you get an egg, you just get 2 more tomorrow or 1 every day or whatever. Yeah, exactly. You have 10 chickens, you get 10 eggs, you know? So it is not so committed. It's going to do that anyway. However, in many, many cases, you need committed people to make certain roles work. You can't have the mentality of the label, this is so-called a job, isn't going to solve, problems that we're dealing with whatever might be for a particular project. So you have to think about the bacon and the egg situation when you're making that. Hey, what sacrifice are you willing to take to make yourself successful? Forget everyone around you. How committed are you? Did you work full-time and handle full-time school, or are you handling family, juggling kids, this, that? Like, I need to see the commitment on their own part. Were you just sort of handed, a full scholarship, whatever, and, now you expect or think you need this big job because that's what the world calls life? That's not reality. It's not going to be easy because that person isn't going to really understand how hard it really is to do what the job calls for, right? Whatever the job might be. So the second one is commitment. A lot of competent people out there aren't committed, and a lot of committed people aren't competent.
Right.
You have to think about that. They're 2 different things. You'll find a lot of competent people, but they're just not ready to do whatever. They're like, yeah, I know exactly how to do it. I bet you we can solve all of world's problems with the competent people, but just as they're not committed to solving any problems. Maybe they're not. Maybe they don't think it's a cause worth doing yet, or whatever it might be. I find amazing people, but they're just not ready for anything that may be presenting itself to them, right? I know people, when they graduated college, if this one particular company didn't hire me, I wouldn't work for anybody else.
Wow.
Do you remember that? So I'm like, oh, that's great. That's great. Keep waiting, because they're definitely going to hire you with that attitude.
Yeah.
Right? Think about it. Because you take any job you can so you can get experience under your belt, and then you work your way up to the CEO. Because Satya did not start up as the CEO of Microsoft.
Same with Sundar.
Exactly. Or any one of those people. I'm just saying, they worked their butts off to get to the CEO level. Nobody handed them, or they didn't say that if Microsoft didn't hire me, I'm not going to work for anybody else.
Right.
So that's the second C. And the third C is the culture fit. Like you said, the reason why you feel that everyone works together is that it's the culture fit. They understand the hustle. They understand what it takes. They understand how to go the extra mile. They're willing to take work home if that's what it calls for, or they're willing to do whatever it takes to make that situation work. And other times, we love to play. right? So they understand that part too, is that it's not always work. There's fun things that we do, and right, we enjoy when customers are getting results. We have fun as a team. We create content together. We do whatever we can together. Taco Tuesdays and whatever else, to name a few, right? Like, we just do anything that we can. We often hang out outside of work just to hang out, which is great because you build that bond, because these are the people that I think I spend more time with them than I spend with my family.
Yeah.
And so obviously you got to love these people or else you couldn't do your job, right? So, and that's the thing that most people see, is just that culture fit and say, wow, you guys are like a family. Yeah, because we do care for each other, and we don't want to put someone in a situation they're not going to be successful. We go the extra mile in just helping each other out. You won't know the countless times that we say, hey, look, do you want to go get some coffee real quick? Let's go for a little drive. Let's get you a little whatever. And that will help each other. Just build that bond, man. I mean, it's really what it is. Who cares? Like, I think all the other success that you do, if you do it with a person, which is why oftentimes you see me creating content with people, is that I enjoy the people part the most. All else is whatever, right? So to me, everything I do, it just has an exponential meaning when it's with my team. It is what it is. And so you show that, and you have that gratitude for all the stuff that you get to do together as a team. Of course, it's a different environment than just people come in, do their work, and then go home.
Yeah.
Right? I can honestly, like I said, reach out to any one of them at any given time, say, hey, I don't have any issues, because we're all in the same team.
Right.
I bet you Michael Jordan could do that when he was playing in Bulls. Nobody got mad at him, right? Nobody treats it like, oh, well, this is, we're
not getting paid.
Exactly, yeah, or whatever that is. It's like, hey, I get it. It is my job. To me, it's like, I can be more successful if they help me, and they can be more successful if I help them. So it's more of a teamwork, and we're all in it together. So if we land $1 billion client, well, we're all gonna make more money. Do you see what I'm saying? It's not just gonna help one person. So I think that is sort of there, and you see that path to progression, and people feel it. Okay, I get it. This is what it is. And a lot of small businesses, they may not be able to do that. And I get it. But like I said, the only thing I don't like about small business is the word small. So those are the 3 things I look for. And sometimes, like I said, it's very hard to get all 3 C's. It's very hard because, like I said, a lot of people easily can flow into the culture part because it's easy. It's like just normal culture. However, the other part takes a lot of time. You see, in our industry, the commitment part isn't just your personal commitment. You have to be committed to the success of the campaign. That means that you may have to iterate this thing 100 times before you see success. And that means that you are okay failing and trying and failing and trying and failing and trying until you are successful, right? James Dyson had tried how many times before he figured out that vacuum cleaner? Do you know?
A ton.
No, a ton is not the answer. Give me a number.
I'm not sure.
5,600 times he failed to create what you see as that little circle ball looking thing. Somewhere around that 5,600 or around that number. And you can imagine that none of us are willing to try 5,600 times to get a campaign right.
Wow.
And that's what I mean by commitment, right? It's not just being willing to work late or whatever else. It's like, hey, I gotta get this thing to be successful, because that's gonna teach me more about how to make another campaign work in the future. So while everything else stays the same, I need to invest this time for myself. Do you know what I mean? I need to figure out how to make this thing work, because I'm not giving up until this is going to be successful. And that's what I mean.
Wow.